Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express Online. I'm Bansy Kalappa. With me is a very unique panel of guests. First of all, we have the NEET topper for India, Miss Hamsavardhini V. She stood 7th in NEET All India. Thank you for joining us on this program. And we also have her parents. We have Papa, Mr. Venkata Kuppuswamy, who's holding a very key position in Lloyd's, LRQA. And we have Mrs. Raja Matangi, who is the mother, and welcome on this program. Well, first of all, how did you prepare for NEET?
I think preparation started right from our first year of college. So ensuring we got our concepts right from for me it was because I was always fascinated with biology. Medicine was the natural choice, and from then on I ensured that my concepts were right and would go and ensure I read the right textbooks. Fortunately, I was in CMC Vellore where I have a very good set of professors, and academics at our institute is absolutely the best that one can get at an MBBS stage, I think. So right from our clinics, our lab exposures, everything was the best. And we always had our professors who would support us come what may in terms of conceptual doubt clearance or clinical work. So, and ensuring we got our basics right. So right now there is a lot of clamor for to be to top and everything, but I think more than that it's important to ensure your concepts are right, because in the long term that is what is going to help with patient care. So apart from that, so naturally during my college days I was preparing for my university exams in the best way I could, and following that I subscribed to certain online platforms during my 2-year obligatory bond service, and I was working also then, and my primary goal was only NEET. I had no interest, I shouldn't say interest, maybe I wasn't keen on pursuing other exams such as USMLE or PLAB, because my primary focus was to be to work in India.
Okay.
So that's the reason.
Okay, so you want to stay in India
Yeah.
because while many of the toppers, there is this great aspiration to go abroad, you have desired to stay here.
I think the need here is very high. Of course, the number of medical seats are going up every day, but also I see I do not want to become a part of this, but a large part of the profession is very commercial. So the felt need is very high. I have a strong desire to work for the community, to bring about changes at the grassroots level, and if God permits me to, I would want to do the best I can to community. So that's the main reason I want to. And of course, the culture and the patients here are something I connect to. I was sure I wouldn't connect to patients outside of India. I wouldn't connect to patients of a different soil. This is where I feel belonged. And
How do you really balance work and studies?
yeah, it was tough, but I think I was I was lucky in certain ways that I had my concepts a little strong during my undergraduation years, so I had to work a little extra to ensure I had the right maybe MCQ solving skills, and only the extra things that were needed for the exam I had to focus on. So I think by God's grace it was.
And also for many of the students, television they say is a distraction. Social media they say is a distraction. So how was it for you?
I think it's important to prioritize. If you know that, I mean, all of us know that this exam is something that is going to determine the course of the next till the time I practice, maybe till 60, 70 years of age. So I think it's important to prioritize studies over social media. Maybe have timers, have on your phone, which will limit your usage, and it will help you stay focused, because this is something that unfortunately in our country one exam decides what we spend the rest of our lives in, and realizing that it's important to stay balanced.
You're a student of NPS Indiranagar.
Yeah.
And Mr. Venkat, let me ask you how much of motivation have you really provided for your daughter to top?
I would say.
I'd like to ask the same question to Madam also.
Yeah, regarding the motivation per se, like I never did anything extraordinary to bring her to life because she had an inherent thoughts. She had an inherent character in her, that a commitment, a passion towards the subject which I could see. The only thing which I did from my side is to ask her the strategy, to strategize her study timings, because she, as a father, I was very much worried about her health. I mean, she was giving more than 36 hours of duty time, in a sense, in 1.5 days. Like, she'll be working like mad, sacrificing her food. As a father, I had to call her up and then say, did you have a timely meal? Have you done this right for its sake? And what is that you have strategies for the day to cover as far as the portions are concerned? So I was doing not a mentorship for that matter, because I'm not qualified in that field at all for that sake. Even if you ask me at the moment what do you know about the subject, I'm totally absolute. But one thing which the subject and the timings what she had, and she was telling me, Dad, will you prompt me whether I could finish it within this time? So I was only doing that, pumping her the energy remotely, because I was working at various locations, pumping out the energy that you can do it.
And that is so crucial, because they say the encouragement only comes from the father.
Mother.
So, yeah. So from your side, how do you really?
I used to tell her to watch the videos of the toppers, take the tips from them, but I never thought one day she would be there in that, on the other side, and would be able to. I would ask her to take the guidance, which she would never refuse any guidance from any of us. She has never refused it. She has always taken it with open mind. I think that is very important for the current generation, to be openly accepting what your parents say. That is a very important thing which helped her, I feel, which could take her farther.
And you have plans to serve patients in India. You don't want to go abroad. Tell us a little bit on that.
God willing, if I mainly want to take up internal medicine, because I think I'd be able to reach out to as many people as possible. So that is one intention of wanting to take internal medicine. And apart from that, maybe at a later point in time, I would definitely want to serve at the community level. So I would want to run clinics. Maybe I'm interested in oncology and hematology. Maybe improve cancer awareness, screening programs. Because a lot of patients, I unfortunately see, especially women, coming at very late stages of cancer, completely being ignored by family, and it's very difficult to treat. If it is picked up, a timely surgery or a timely diagnosis might prevent such a worse outcome. So that is something I want to do.
You had a very traumatic experience, you were telling, where your own grandmother fell ill. Can you tell us a little bit on
Yeah,
that?
I actually lost both my grandmoms I think both of which have contributed. One is maybe when I was 10, I lost my maternal grandmother, and she had a congenital cardiac lesion, which was detected when she was 45, 50, and they operated on her then, which was a palliative procedure only. Maybe if that was detected at birth, or maybe within 10 years of age, she wouldn't have developed all the complications that she had. And not just that, as people in the family, none of us are doctors, and none of us understood the gravity of how sick she was. So if there was someone who was in the medical field, then they would have understood and maybe helped her out and told her, maybe you shouldn't exert this much, this is how much you should do. That was something that inspired me to take up medicine. And while I was doing medicine, in my first year I lost my paternal grandmother as well, and she had a very advanced stage of lymphoma, a blood related malignancy. Yeah, and everything happened so quickly, and before we knew it, she was gone. So that is another thing which has in fact stimulated my interest in oncology also.
So wishing you all the very best.
Thank you.
In your,
Thank you for having me over.
Thank you for
you.
joining us on this
Thank you.
program. There it is, Hamsavardhini, a topper with NEET, telling us that she wishes to serve the people of India and remain here and not go abroad. Thank you for watching.